Newcastle trying to make it back-to-back wins under Eddie Howe at Leicester City.
He's a man revered by his people like nobody before him.
Steven Gerrard proves again to be Liverpool's man of the moment.
I think the early memories of Steven Gerrard is that everyone talked about him even before he kicked the ball for the Liverpool's first team. So I grew up in Highton the same as Steven, and I can remember going to the barbers and there being a picture of Steven on the wall before he'd even made his debut for Liverpool.
I was talking to Gerrard there. He was talking about him, and he said he went up to the academy to watch one guy play, and Stevie stood out. He's playing the same game, and as a young kid, bossing the game and everything, and Gerrard just said, who was he? And it was Steven Gerrard.
And a youngster who's never even featured on the team sheet before. He's going to be given his opportunity for Liverpool, Steven Gerrard.
He just looked like an ordinary lad off the street, and essentially that's what he was. He looked like any other Scouse lads of that age, of 18 years old. The shirt that day looked massive on him. And I remember as well that his name wasn't even on the back of the programme. But, you know, now when you look back, you're like, well, that was the start of something special.
Gerrard with the header, 3-1. How Liverpool needed this. Gerrard goes down in the box, penalty. But he gets the rebound, 3-3. Oh, it's a terrible penalty. And Liverpool, against all odds, have won the Champions League.
3-0 down to a fantastic Milan side. I don't think there was anyone really in the ground that at half-time thought Liverpool were going to do what they did, but maybe Steven Gerrard did.
When he scored that first goal, you know, and he got the crowd going, he got the players going, and he was the reason why they changed the game.
The 2006 FA Cup final was absolutely amazing. I was at that one, and it just didn't feel like it was ever going to be our day. But all the way through, Steven never ever gave up, and it's one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. It's one of the greatest goals ever in a cup final. That is the Steven Gerrard final. Everything's pointing to the fact that he'll be a good manager, and I hope he will be. I think Steven did a great job. Our Rangers went up there, broke Celtic's stranglehold on the title, and now he's back down here with Aston Villa. Steven will always get a fantastic reception at Anfield. There's no two ways about that. I'm sure when he walks out on the pitch, the Kop will give him a fantastic welcome.
Once that game starts, he'll want Aston Villa to win. No one will want to beat Liverpool more than Steven Gerrard on Saturday. I can guarantee that 100%.
Steven Gerrard back at Anfield in charge of Aston Villa in the Premier League tomorrow. You've won titles with Liverpool. You know what Anfield can be like. How special is that going to be tomorrow with Steven Gerrard back?
It's going to be a special occasion for him. I think, you know, he certainly knows what the crowd is about. I think, you know, he'll get a huge reception, and rightly so. I think the respect levels there from the fans to Gerrard and reverse, I think, is there. I think he deserves it. But I think that the good thing is that he knows what this crowd's about. So what he can prep his team about is he can prep them about Anfield. And we all know, and you know, those of you that have played at Anfield would know how hard it is to go to Anfield and get a result. But I think he can share those emotions with this Aston Villa team, and you know, this Aston Villa team are going to give everything like they have done so far with Gerrard.
He might not know exactly how he feels until he walks out, I guess, tomorrow with his managerial suit on with Aston Villa, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's really looking forward to it. This is what he's come to the Premier League for. These are the challenges. These are the tests. He was a player that always wanted to play and pit his wits against the best. Invariably came out on top against the best. But he's a novice manager in this league. He did very well at Rangers, big club. And I thought the way he handled himself, the way he spoke, I thought was excellent in Scotland. Now he's also got his hands on another big club. But it's a big job at Villa. It's a big job to get them in the thick of things, in the top 7, top 8, a huge job. But tomorrow he's going to love the experience of going back to his old club and pitting his wits against an elite manager.
Absolutely. We will hear from Steven Gerrard on his return to Anfield in a moment, but that elite manager, of course, is Jurgen Klopp, who was in great form today at his press conference, once again showing that dry sense of humour.
Before we start, I want to say I will not answer any question about Steven Gerrard today. Stevie might say there are no sentiments and stuff like this. That's right. But from our point of view, from a club's point of view, there is sentiments. We love Stevie, but that doesn't mean anything around this game. We are all professionals as well, and we will go with all we have. And we will need Anfield and the receptors. Stevie can get the best reception in the world because he deserves it. Before the game, after the game, they can sing songs, all these kind of things. But in the 95 minutes, we need everybody behind us. And that's, I know our people good enough. That's what they like as well. And not to forget, it's just a game. And in a game, we have to throw everything in what we can, and it means at Anfield, use Anfield. We will try everything to create a special atmosphere, but when the people are ready, we have a good chance to have a special atmosphere, and then it's difficult for each opponent, and that's what we have to try to produce.
Have you spoken to him recently?
After last game, sent him a message. Not bad at all. See ya. So that's it, but we didn't speak, no.
Listen, it doesn't need me to sit here and talk about Jurgen Klopp. I think the world knows what a fantastic coach he is. He's always been fantastic with me, very supportive, giving me a lot of top advice in terms of the transition from being a player to a coach. He obviously gave me an opportunity to go and coach Liverpool's youth team and under-19s team, which I'll be forever grateful for. But at the end of the day, he knows and I know once that whistle goes at the weekend, I'm going to try and compete in the best way I can and the team can to try and get a result and one over on him. That's the way I am, that's what's inside me, and that's the way I'll approach it. I'm going back to a club that I spent many years there. So it brings a smile to my face for a couple of reasons. One, because I've got obviously a good relationship with a lot of people at the club. I had a fantastic time there, a really good journey. I'm a local boy. It was the team I supported growing up, and I always will support that team, of course I will. But at the same time, it brings a smile to my face because I've got the opportunity to go there and compete against a good team, a good manager, with the opportunity to try and win the game, and that's my only main focus. I think the noise is for other people to get excited about. For me, it's about preparing the team in the best way I can to try and get a positive result for Aston Villa, and that's the way I will be. And everyone in that stadium will know me well enough to know what I'm about and what I'm going to Anfield for.
Absolutely. He's a winner. He always has been. But it is a different type of game for him, understandably, to try and win tomorrow. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be tough. Going to Anfield and trying to get a result with this Villa team is tough. But he's competitive. He's renowned for that as a player. And I think he's certainly, you know, in the time that he's had at Villa, he probably hasn't had enough time to really have an identity and give, you know, this Aston Villa team an identity in terms of how he wants them to play. But I think what they get from him is his competitiveness. And they want to win for him. And I think that's what he's brought to this team. I think you'll take till the summer and probably next season to really see the Steven Gerrard team. But I think he's going to go there and take a team there that is going to be competitive and try and get a result. He's a winner.
And looking back, very clever from Jurgen Klopp to invite him back into the academy, wasn't it, to start his coaching journey?
Yeah, I think that lots of coaches, perhaps coaches that have an inferiority complex, fear a Steven Gerrard in their camp, fear a Steven Gerrard coming to the end of his playing days and then potentially being a threat to their position. There have been lots of coaches like that I've witnessed over the years, but Klopp was already an established manager, a winner in his own right, and had enough self-belief and confidence to be supportive to Steven, to offer him a position, and to genuinely see how he coped with that and got on with that. And clearly that whet his appetite, that lit a fire inside Steven that was probably always going to be there anyway. It's not in every player when you finish. I think most players, Farah probably agree, most players, as you're coming to the end of your time, you think you'll drop into coaching. You think, yeah, I'll probably end up going into coaching. And then, you know, I didn't because I didn't want to do it enough.
You had a taste, though, didn't you?
Sorry?
You had a taste.
I had a taste for a while. I had a little taste at West Brom for a while. But I didn't want to do it enough. Because I think if I did, I would have stuck at it more. I think Steven's genuinely, from that little opportunity he got at Liverpool, I think that confirmed to him that that's where he sees himself.
And you guys have seen a lot of managers over the years. Some don't look quite right and have gone out of the game. Does he just look a completely natural leader as he was on the pitch, but now as a manager?
Yeah, I think so. I think that leadership he showed as a player. I think you can see that, with what the job that he did at Rangers. I think players buy into what his product is and what he's trying to achieve. I think it will take time. Look, the transition from being a player to a coach, it doesn't happen overnight, and it will take Steven Gerrard a while. And I think you've heard him speak about it. He wants to learn. He wants to come up against the best. Fail at times to learn from that. And I think in time he'll be a great manager, and one that I think eventually will go back to Liverpool and manage them, when he's ready. And I think, that's something that he aspires to do as a manager, and I think his time will come for that.
Yeah, I think, tonight we've seen a Watford team with Claudio Ranieri, who's been an amazing football man, and still has the enthusiasm to want to be involved. Do those Watford players absolutely get it, relate to him? Do they really? I'm just being honest, I don't think that's a natural fit, to be honest with you. But when Dean Smith was relieved of his duties at Villa, I thought that was a little harsh, and I wondered who was going to be coming in there. And then when they gave it to Steven, I thought it was a great selection.
Did you?
The perfect selection for Villa, a club that wants to get itself back into the top 8 of the Premier League. They need a manager, I think, that can convince people. And I think Steven convinces you that he's there for the long haul. He's going to have his ups and downs. It's not always going to be easy. Not going to win games like he did in Scotland in this league. But he certainly convinces me that by the way he talks, and I think by his iconic status he had as a player, that he can drag a bit out of those players, that he can relate to them, form a bond with them, and take the club forward. I really believe that.
Very early days, but 9 points from 12. The one game he lost was against the champions, Manchester City. It's some start. He's got the better of one of his old managers already in Brendan Rodgers last time out.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start. And I think what Steven Gerrard is currently is relatable to some of these players. I think, the modern day game, it's changed, isn't it? And these players have to relate to their coach in order to buy into their product and what they're trying to deliver. And we've seen that at Man United with Ollie. The players didn't really believe in what he was trying to achieve. I think these Aston Villa players, a little bit in awe of Gerrard in terms of his playing career. They have a huge respect for him. I think you can see that. He's inherited a very good team at Villa. I think Dean Smith had a core group of players that were very good, and he can build on that, and he's ambitious. And I think that's what Villa as a club and the fans want, an ambitious manager, a young manager that has a drive and passion to take them to the next level. And I think he's a great appointment, as you mentioned, Andy.
Yeah.
He's going to test his professionalism tomorrow. He's never been in that away dressing room before at Anfield.
No, that's true. Yes. There'll be he'll be, as we speak right now, he'll be with his staff. They'll be talking about the game. They'll have made their plans. They've got their game plan. They'll have spoke about it, I'm sure, for a few days. And tomorrow he wakes up and he'll really look forward to the day. His family will look forward to seeing their dad, and his wife will look forward to seeing her husband back on the ground, which, he was so amazing at, albeit in the colours of another team. But it's a big day for the family too. So I just hope tomorrow's Villa team perform, because if they don't, then this could be welcome back to the Premier League for Steven tomorrow, because Liverpool are that good at the minute. They're scoring that many goals. So it will take a monumental effort for Villa to get a result, never mind a win.
Yeah, unbeaten at Anfield in the Premier League this season.
Anfield's, it's a horrible stadium to go to and try and get a result, and we've seen that. And look, they're in fantastic form at the moment, and Salah in particular. I think the form of him, Mane and Jota scoring goals, I think they're now solid at the back. Last year they were leaking a lot of goals in the Premier League. You're not seeing that so much this season, and Mo Salah is just, carrying this team through with the goals. And we've seen it at Wolves, just a week ago. It didn't look like they were going to get, 3 points last minute of the game, and that 1 minute the back line switch off and he's in behind and he picks out Origi, and he was the guy that made the difference in that game, and he has been the guy at Anfield this season.
Farah, great to have you with us tonight. Andy, thank you.
Thank you,
as
Steve.
always, a big day and a big occasion for Steven Gerrard tomorrow. But the Premier League is underway with Brentford buzzing the Bees after a big 3 points. From the three of us, we'll see you soon.